Good morning. It's November 15, 2023. Welcome to your program, Your Agenda, here on Cignal TV. TV's One News, channels 8 and 250. And today looks like it's going to be slightly overcast, but not to worry. Humina na raw po yung bagyo. Hindi na siya bagyo, low pressure area na naman yata, or is leaving the Philippine area of responsibility. We'll check on that, how accurate that information is. But today, November 15, we are going to have an interesting conversation with a previous guest on the program. He is a businessman, he is an entrepreneur, he is a book author, and he likes to share his knowledge, his experience. But the reason I'm guesting him today is because he is a serial branch developer. Umbaga, he cannot help himself but develop new branches for his business. So those of you who want to develop businesses, want to develop more outlets, then maybe you should spend time with us today so we can tell you how to be a serial businessman or the branch developer without burning the business. Because meron po ako, I remember many years back, I had a friend who put up a very successful restaurant, and he was so successful, he decided to put up a second one. And as I am known to, I told him, bro, pag-isipan mo yan. Because it's not just an extension of the business, and it's not just a double effort. It takes usually more effort than the first one to put up a second one and maintain the quality. But he managed, and before you know it, someone came to him and said, "Boss, magtayo tayo ng third branch and we'll be your partners." And against all advice, he went on to do it. And what happened was the profits of the first business ended up running the third business until one day they had to give it all up kasi naapektuhan yung finances nila, oras nila, especially family time and time looking after the children who were in school. So let's find out from our guest later how he manages to balance things, how he manages to put up so many branches of a very successful store in all over Metro Manila. And I think he already has some one or two outside Metro Manila. We'll find out again. My memory is not that sharp anymore, but I am certain it will be a day of learning here on Agenda. Meanwhile, let's go to, allow me first to say thank you to all of you who are Cignal TV subscribers. Maraming salamat po. Thank you for being with us, for supporting the company, supporting our programs. And of course, thank you for those of you who watch Agenda via Facebook, YouTube, and the Cignal Play app. And let's now go to our daily starter, which comes from a well-known businessman also, John D. Rockefeller Jr. And his advice is, giving is the secret of a healthy life. Not necessarily money, but whatever a man has of encouragement and sympathy and understanding. That's a very good daily starter advice from John D. Rockefeller. Giving is the secret of a healthy life, because from what I understand, John D. Rockefeller, or one of the Rockefellers, was very rich but also very sick, until one day he discovered the act of giving to the needy. And the more he gave, the healthier he became, or one of his relatives. So it became a tradition and nagkaroon pa ng foundation, etc. So it is not just talk. He put his money where his mouth was. And it's also good because some of us don't have that kind of money, but you have time. I know a lot of senior citizens who are bored, bored and kantangkerus. Mas mabuti siguro if you go out, say hello to people, and give some of your time, pay attention to the younger generation. Listen, there are a lot of young people now who are having serious anxiety, mental health issues. Meron nga recent case of suicide. So give your time and encourage people, as Rockefeller said, and sympathize and tell them, show them that you understand what they're going through. Okay, let's now go to the front page of the Philippine Star and the headline of today, November 15, 2023, De Lima may take legal action versus persecutors after spending nearly 7 years in jail. Former Secretary of Justice and former Senator Laila De Lima is now studying the possibility of persecuting, filing legal action against those who persecuted her, those who allegedly pressured and intimidated certain government officials and individuals to testify against her. Kasi po, yung mga nag-testify kay De Lima, nag-atrasa na lahat. They all recanted, and so it gives De Lima legal basis to file charges against the people who pressured those witnesses. And that photo to the right of your screen is Laila De Lima kneeling and praying before the Lady of Manawag in Pangasinan. Meanwhile, at the top of the front page, the header, Lakas CMD, political party of Fidel Ramos and Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, is now back as the largest House power bloc. They have the highest number of members among congressmen, and they are headed by Speaker Martin Romualdez. Okay. Now, photo to the left of top of the front page is a photo of President Marcos and First Lady Lisa Araneta Marcos boarding a plane at Villamor Air Base in Pasay City as they leave for the U.S. yesterday for the APEC summit in San Francisco. The president is expected to make a short stopover in Los Angeles to meet the Filipino community and will visit the Indo-Pacific Command in Honolulu, Hawaii. Okay. To the right of the front page, top front page, cyclone outside par weakens into low pressure area. Yun po, yung sinasabing papasok na bagyo naging mahina na raw, but we will still monitor kasi ganyan naman ang mga bagyo. Lalakas, lalambot. Okay, BBM off to US for APEC, and the center photo of the Philippine Star, pagkalaki-laking litrato, is a photo of one of the displays for the Belenismo in Tarlac. I was part of the original group that judged those exhibits many years ago, and they have continued. If you go to Tarlac, you can visit every town, and many towns and commercial areas have huge, giant Belen displays, and this one is a creche European diplomats tour the 16th Belenismo sa Tarlac, a yearly competition showcasing creativity of residents in depicting Christmas nativity of the birth of Jesus Christ in the manger. So yan po, kanya-kanyang idea, creativity, etc. Congratulations, Miss Isa Suntay, Doktora Isa Suntay, because she was the founding force behind that. She was a driving force many years ago, and I think she still is involved in the program. And congratulations to the people of Tarlac. Meanwhile, DILG bans nepotism in appointment of SK employees. Bawal ang kamag-anak Inc. Okay? Relatives of newly elected Sangguniang Kabataan officials are prohibited from serving as secretaries and treasurers of the SK board, the DILG said yesterday. Okay. And below that, we have a photo of Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo and wife Pamela with members of the International Bazaar Foundation. The bazaar will be held on November 19 at the PICC Forum Tents 1, 2, and 3. And tickets are available at the entrance and at Tesoros Makati. So yung mga mamimili ng pangregalo, there you go. You can go there. Now, last but not the least, Senator seeks prompt release of health emergency allowance. The only senator who is really supporting public hospitals 100% and is committed to public health, Senator Bongo, okay, has reiterated his appeal to the Department of Budget and Management to release health emergency allowances of healthcare workers who served during the COVID-19 pandemic. Yan po. Parang awan nyo na mga tiga-DBM 2023 na tapos na yung COVID, yung sweldo ng mga nurse, mga hospital staff at ambulance drivers, ibigay nyo na, mahiya naman kayo. Okay, we'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we will interview. We will well, hindi naman to interview. We only discuss here on agenda, and we will discuss business, how to run business, and other things when we come back.
As the founder and CEO of popular car accessories chain Blade Auto Center, Robertson Sy Tan is an established figure in the automobile industry. But before achieving this success, Tan was an employee for a marketing distribution company for 20 years. In 2004, he met Robert Kiyosaki, the author of the popular financial book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Tan shared that upon meeting Kiyosaki and reading the book, he realized that he's going to the poor dad route. After this and a tragedy that happened to his uncle, Tan decided to change his life's course by launching Blade in 2004. From just one store in Taguig City, Blade has expanded to 50 outlets nationwide. How did Tan become a successful CEO from being a simple employee for 20 years? Let's further discuss this matter on today's agenda.
Robertson Sy Tan is the founder and CEO of Blade Auto Center. Tan, an MBA graduate from De La Salle University, opened Blade's first branch in 2004 at a mall in Taguig, which he described as one of the worst places to start your business at the time. Still, the business grew. Aside from being an entrepreneur, Tan is also an author. He wrote the book What Would You Do If This Was Your Last Day on Earth, in which he shared 7 lessons he learned from his life's struggles and milestones.
Good morning. Welcome back to the program, my friend.
Good morning, Kuya Cito. I'm very thankful and honored to be part of your show again.
Well, thank you also that during the last time we talked, which was 2 weeks ago, or more than less than a week ago. A week ago, you actually prayed for me because of my problem with my bronchial infection. But I'm feeling much better now, and I am now curious. Okay, I might have missed in our first interview this encounter you had with the author Robert Kiyosaki. Now, I've read his book. In fact, I followed him for a while until I started, moving on to different writers and other podcasts. But what exactly in Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, made you change direction? Because for me, it was all about don't buy a house, use the money to invest in business and rent. Sabi ko, madali mong sabihin yan, asawa mo hindi foreigner, ako asawa ko foreigner, kailangan may bahay.
Oh. Well, I've been an employee for 20 years, and when I saw that book, and Robert Kiyosaki explained about his rich dad and his poor dad, nakita ko at nakarelate talaga ako doon sa buhay na patungo ni poor dad. Si poor dad is highly educated and he's very committed to his company. He's very, very loyal, and whatever he does, talagang the best ito. But somehow he could not get along with his boss. Kaya in the end, he went against the boss, and then he lost the run for mayor. And eventually, he was banished from Hawaii, and he ended up poor in his life. Mm-hmm. I really related and connected with that story, which prompted me to think about my own future. Mukhang doon din ako patungo, baka eventually kahit gaano mo kamahal yung negosyo, yung pinagtatrabahuhan mo, no matter how big your income is, if you reach a point wherein you're already at that age and you can start all over again, baka it's time already to make a drastic shift. Kaya in 2004, we made a very conscious decision to give up our stable income, my stable job, and to move on to becoming an entrepreneur.
Did you just jump out of the helicopter, so to speak, or naghanda ka muna ng parachute, gumawa ka muna ng plano? Because I know you're married. I'm sure you were already married back then.
Yes.
Did you have an exit plan, or you just said, well, to hell with it, bahala na si Batman?
Well, sinamahan lang ako, hindi lang ni Batman, pati ni Robin. Well, it's almost like that, no? It's almost like that. We jumped out of the parachute, we gave up, jumped out without a parachute, we gave up the six-figure income in order to start this business. Kasi during that time kasi, another major incident happened in my life. One of my very loved uncle was caught in a crossfire, and he did not survive this incident in Valenzuela. That prompted me to also think that if life can be taken away from you just like that, then what would happen to me if I were to say goodbye tomorrow? 12 words came into my mind. I really felt like God was talking to me. Sabi niya sa akin, what would you do if this was your last day on earth? Kung ito na ang huling araw mo sa mundo, magkikimkim ka pa ba ng sama ng loob? Hindi ka pa ba? Magsasayang ka pa ba ng oras? And at that time, we have 3 kids. And 4 years old yung aming panganay. Any responsible parent would always think, what would be the future for our kids if we were to say goodbye today?
Okay.
Kaya
Yeah,
nag-hyperspeed kami ni Mrs. We started a new business.
Okay, now, yung sinabi mong, what would you do if this was your last day? I saw that message yesterday on Facebook. I saw that that message this morning on Facebook. And then when I was reviewing the materials about you, I again saw it. And so I have to be totally transparent. I'm very disturbed. When you saw that message or heard that message, what was your answer? I mean, we all have our conversations with God, and in my case, sabi ko lang, I suppose I'll just say thank you, Lord. But what about you?
What came into my mind was the 3 kids eh. Kasi kung ako lang, wala naman tayong problema. We can just say goodbye. I'm happy with my life, no? But any responsible parent kasi could not bear the thought of leaving the 4-year-old kids with no clear future. No? Kaya nag-usap kami ni Mrs. Sabi ko, we really have to do something about this. And at that time, we were living every day as if there was no tomorrow. No? Every day, I would tell my wife, in case I'm not here tomorrow, please do this. Please make sure this is done. Nagbibilin kami araw-araw nung time na yun when we were starting in 2004. And we really wanted to make sure that our kids would have a stable future. Yun yung tunay na main motivation namin.
Okay, so the children gave you motivation. Kiyosaki told you you're headed the poor dad route. And your uncle's death became the catalyst. Now, did you have money at least in the bank? Kasi may kilala ako, sinabihan ako, Kuya, I left my job in the bank and I'm going full-time into farming. Sabi ko, pare, sandali, delikado yan. Yung pala, meron pala siyang tracking business. Yung pala, meron pala siyang investment. Munti ko nang batukan eh. In your case, did you have a lot of cash in the bank when you made the move?
I do not have a lot of cash, but I have a little bit saved up. Kasi I've been an employee for 20 years, and a large time of that, no, I'm the president and CEO of that company. So nakapag-ipon rin naman kahit papano. At yung pinag-ipunan natin, this became the seed money for us to start our business. Plus, alam mo Cito, isa sa mga pinakamalaking puhunan ko is my name and my honor. No, all the friends, suppliers, all the people in the industry know me as someone credible, someone that you can bank on. Kaya bukod sa may konti tayong naipon na puhunan, yung tiwala ng ating mga kaibigan at kasamahan is isa sa mga pinaka-invaluable assets that we had when we started.
Okay, I think that is the primary requirement in the motoring, automotive, accessories industries, primarily because the industry and related businesses are mostly operated by Filipino Chinese. And I remember my tauke, my godfather, telling me, Cito, the only capital you need, kasi sabi ko, tauke, paano ba yan? Wala naman akong pera, I'm an employee. And he said to me, Cito, the only thing you need in this community is your word of honor.
Tama
If you
yun, Cito.
can pay on time, do what you say you are going to do, and you are trustworthy, word gets around. And for a long time, I could actually pay with a check in Banawe until other Filipino Chinese started bouncing their checks. Bigla sinabihan ako, not Tauke, my godfather, my kwepe said, well, things are going to change. Because kung kalahi namin ay nagtatalbog na ng cheque, you'll have to respect if people are conscious. So that's a good tip, no? Word of honor, etc. Now, go back to why you're here. No, you opened up your newest branch. I mean, hello, Blade, a car accessories. You're in all the malls. Ilan na ba?
We have over 50 outlets nationwide now. From the last time na nag-usap tayo, may ilan tayong mga bagong nabuksan. We're now in Baguio, we're now in Urdaneta. From Visayas and Mindanao naman, meron tayong nasa Cebu, Davao, Zamboanga, General Santos. Most of the key cities actually nandun na tayo.
Okay, what tells you, or how do you determine that a location is a good place to put up a branch? Because marami rin akong kilalang serial developers, serial operators of franchise, but not all places turn out to be good investments. In your case, you seem to be hitting 100% naman. What's the rule?
We work with major shopping malls like SM, Robinsons, and Ayala. Generally, hindi naman to 100%. Pero generally, the research and development of these major developers are pretty accurate, and we are able to successfully operate most of our stores. Hindi to Cito 100%. May mga misses din ito, pero generally safe ka naman. That's why they command such very high rent. That's why they are able to generate so much people going to their malls. Kasi pinag-aralan na nila ito eh. Hindi mo na kailangan aralin pagkasama mo itong mga major players.
But your newest branch, correct me if I'm wrong, my impression is it's not in a mall.
Yes.
It's in Mindanao Avenue, and I have to be honest with you, aside from the fact that I was sick, sabi ko, if I go to his opening, may sakit na ako doon, matutuluyan ako, makakahawa pa ako dahil sa traffic, etc.
Well, we opened our first standalone store sa Timog Avenue in 2012. At ito, medyo tinangkilik ng marami nating customers. We had customers from ABS-CBN, from GMA, kasi neighbors tayo di ba? And I believe, Kuya Cito, you've been to our store as well. Medyo given that bigger size, bigger footprint, we are able to execute the store the way we truly wanted it. No? If we open such a big store in a shopping mall, we would end up in debt kasi sobrang laki ng overhead when you are renting spaces in the shopping malls. In our own store, meron tayo ngayong freedom para gawin ito. And lahat ng hindi namin nagawa in Timog Avenue, lahat ng wish list namin, we put them all in Mindanao Avenue now. And first time in the Philippines, Kuya Cito, na ang ating the car accessory store that we love so much is now married to another concept, which is a service center. First time in the Philippines, we put the two concepts together, all under one roof. We now do oil change, tune-up, tires, and batteries. Kasama nung yung mga nagustuhan ninyo sa Blade Auto Center. Plus, Kuya Cito, sinamahan pa natin to ng mga accessories for motorcycles, bicycles, and scooters. Everything mobility is now in our Mindanao Avenue store.
But isn't that a management and logistic nightmare, Robert? Because, that means traffic. Sa motor at motor pa lang, babahain ka na ng ang daming customers, and then kotse, cars take up a lot of floor area. How do you manage it? How big is that branch in Mindanao Avenue?
The store is over 1,000 square meters, and the second level where we have the auto center, is laid out similar to the way a supermarket is laid out. And when you go there, you will have very long and wide aisles of air fresheners, sunshades, or whatever. Any model, any design that you want are all there. The ground floor is designed to be a motorcycle or a car showroom. We intend to later on sell some of these mobility items. Ang back nito ay ang ating service center. We only accept mga quick service jobs. We don't do body paints or anything that will require the car to be parked overnight. Puro quick service lang tayo.
Okay, but do you do, like, medyo may masama akong balak eh. Plano kong papalitan yung mga headlights ko dahil asar na ako doon sa mga nambra-bright sa akin sa highway at saka sa mga provinces. No? But what about accessories? If people go to your Mindanao outlet, like let's say they want to buy wipers or headlights or whatever, do you also install? Because in Banawe Street in Quezon City, you buy from a store and then hahanap ka ng installer doon sa kalsada. What's the setup in Mindanao Avenue for Blade?
The same as all the setup in all our stores. Sa Blade, meron tayong kabit na walang sabit. No, lahat ng binibili mo sa Blade, we can install it for you. Especially in Mindanao Avenue. Kahit na bumili ka ng tint, Kuya Cito, sa ating store sa Blade Mindanao Avenue, we will install the tint for you. We have a clean environment and hindi to dusty, hindi to hahanginan. At the same time, Kuya Cito, the side mirror will not be stolen in our stores.
hindi masusungkit yung side mirror, hindi matatanggal yung emblem, etc. Okay. Now, what convinced you that Mindanao Avenue is a good location? And also for your, because sa intro ko, sabi ko, we could probably learn from you regarding the pitfalls and the secrets for expanding the number of outlets, branches, and stores. Ano ba yung rules mo? What did you use to determine that Mindanao Avenue is going to be where we do it all?
When we launched Blade Timog, it was quite successful. The store is performing higher than most of our mall branches. Kaya that gave us the inspiration and push to find another outlet within the same area. Basically, ang hinahanap lang natin is areas na populated, may maraming subdivision, may maraming tao. Nataon lang we were presented with that opportunity in Mindanao Avenue. It's right smack near the corner of Quirino Avenue and Mindanao Avenue. It's a major highway. And then kakabukas lang nung NLEX eh. There's an extension to go to NLEX. So now you don't have to go to Balintawak just to go to Baguio. All those opportunities just fell into place. Sabi namin, parang no-brainer na ito. Subukan na lang natin.
So it's location. But
yes, definitely.
Unlike with the malls, you didn't have the data. You didn't have the determination of research that the malls bring with them. What convinced you?
Wala lang. We saw it and somehow my wife and my partner, we all fell in love with the place. Eh. It's more of an emotional decision. We prayed over it, no? And so far wala namang naging wala naman tayo hindi naman tayo nagkaroon ng any negative thoughts towards the property.
So meron kayong leading by the Holy Spirit or divine guidance, as they say. Pero didn't you at least stand in that area or spend lunch there or visit it so many times in a day just to see kung okay? Because nabiktima na ako ng ganyan eh. Tumingin ako ng isang property, sabi ko ang ganda ng property na yon, etc. Yung pala parking lot ng isang school pag school day.
Siya, Kuya Cito eh, kasi the place when we saw it was over 40 meters wide ang ating frontage.
Wow.
It is three streets block and dulo ng tatlong street, Mindanao Avenue, RT1 and RT2. Kaya it's felt like a no-brainer. Kasi the intention was to build multiple door units that we can rent out eventually. Kaya kasama rin dito sa ating property yung 8 units of commercial spaces that we are renting out. And we're very happy na nag-team up na sa atin ang Team Graffiti para sa ating mga motorcycle servicing and motorcycle customers. 2 of the doors were rented out to Team Graffiti. The rest of the doors, we're still we're carefully curating the tenants, kaya medyo mabagal kami makapag-close ng deal.
Okay, Robert, we'll just go for a quick break. When we return, let's continue our conversation on putting up this business, expanding it, and tama na ba? Or when is enough enough? We'll be right back here on Agenda.
Robertson Sy Tan's success as a businessman is indeed a source of inspiration. And it seems that being able to keep up with the times is one of the reasons for that success. On Blade Auto Center's YouTube channel, the company has been posting different gimmicks to make sure they stay relevant among their customers and potentially attract new ones. For example, Blade created several full-length and short-length films that feature their shops as well as their products. And take note, these movies have raked in millions of views. Aside from this, the company has also been delving in some comedic videos that also centers on the items they sell. Sometimes, Blade also does giveaways on their Facebook page. If you are on the serious side, Blade also has content for you, as the store even produced its own spoken poetry show called Blade Stories with Mr. Right. These are just some of the examples that Tan and his associates have been doing to evolve their business. Let's discuss the rest on today's agenda.
Welcome back, Robert, and let's continue our conversation. Now, does that really work? Or is it pure gimmickry? Because I have been trying to tell people who I train, I train in media. I tell them, it has to be more than just putting up a website or having a Facebook account. You need to have content. And does it work for Blade, and why?
Somehow it did. No? Somehow it did. It helped us spread the word. the automotive industry is quite small, and we were thinking of tapping into a different market to widen the scope. But quite honestly, Kuya Cito, filmmaking has been somehow I thought to myself, if I'm not a businessman, maybe I'm a filmmaker. No, hilig ko talaga to eh. I really like producing films. Pero I also know that this industry, filmmaking, is quite a very, very difficult industry to break through. No? Sobrang daming ng mga challenges dito. So what I did was, sinubukan ko lang gawin to, in-apply ko lang sa aming business. No?
Okay, but does it translate to customers, or when customers come? Because I remember in the US, meron silang tagline lagi. When after a funny commercial is aired, they will always say, tell them you saw it on this channel or you saw this ad, etc., and get a 5% discount or a special price. How did you make the connection between media content, video content, YouTube or social media, and sales?
Instead of placing ads, what we did was we made the whole movie a big ad. No, basically, the whole plot happened in our store. One of our salespersons fell in love with one of the customers, or something like that. You know how Filipinos are with tearjerkers and love stories. So we applied that same concept, but everything will happen inside our store. All the plot twists, all the things happens inside the store. Kaya tuloy-tuloy yung aming promotion. At the same time, in between, we would plug in certain merchandise or certain features or certain services within the story.
Okay, now here's a pet peeve I have with many stores, even in Banawe, etc. Parang ang nagiging trend is many stores will buy cheaper, more affordable products and do not put space or invest on the better quality products. What about Blade? Kasi merong mga tindahan, bebentahan ka ng wiper. Pagkatapos ng 2 buwan, matigas na, mas matigas pa kaysa sa sinturon mo. Or bebentahan ka ng accessory, pundido na kagad, etc.
The difference with our store and all the other stores is that we have a name to protect. It took us almost 20 years to build our name, and we would not, in any case, risk our name because pinaghirapan namin ito upang magain yung respect and trust of our customers. A lot of sellers now, you will find them on the online platforms. No? Nako, napakamura nito ah. Pagtanggap mo naman ng item, mapapamura ka eh. Kasi sobrang poor quality, di ba? Sa Blade, hindi natin magagawa 'yon kasi hindi natin ma-afford na magkaroon ng customers na magagalit sa atin. Pinaghirapan natin to, dugot pawis ang pinasok natin para i-build yung ating pangalan. Hindi natin to isusugal sa pagbebenta ng isang poor quality item. Having said that, Kuya Cito, we have over 50 stores nationwide, and whenever we talk to any supplier, we are talking with the potential to order for 50 stores. Kung ang isang mom and pop shop will be buying, if a mom and pop shop will be buying 6 pieces of a certain item, tayo we will be buying 6 pieces times 50 ang quantity. Kaya in effect, the suppliers will be compelled to give us the best prices, and whatever savings we get, we pass them on to customers.
Well, I have to give my own testimony, Robert, and ito, wala ka namang binayad sa akin kahit na hopya, hindi mo ako pinadalan, ano? But I did buy two car covers from your place. And I was worried kasi lahat ng nabili kong car cover talagang sablay. Maulanan lang, maarawan lang, and then before you know it, it starts to shred, etc. But the ones I bought from your stores were really good, and kahit na nakaparada sa labas yung kotse, okay lang siya. So in fact, I bring it when we go out of town. because in many places wala namang roof, so we use it as a car cover, and the quality is really good. So that's
Thank you
my
for that
concern.
feedback, Kuya Cito.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you for the feedback.
it's really good. I forgot yung brand, Dub ba yun or
Dub yung
something?
brand. Dub yung brand.
Dub, okay. So you have the power, the purchasing power, the volume, the power because of the volume you purchase. Now, in terms of choosing the products, how do you determine ano yung bibilin? Kasi when I go from one store to the other, talagang parang you kind of wonder, how do these guys figure out that they should buy this and put it on the racks? Because I was in marketing with Sony. Rack space is very expensive. You have to be sure that whatever you put on the racks has a quick turnover and a positive income. How do you choose what products to sell?
Partly we check on market reviews, we look at market trends, but a large part kasi Kuya Cito, ang customers are the one telling us that, hey, we want this, we want that. And if we get quite a number of people requesting for certain goods, we listen to them and try our very best to find those items for them. No, a lot of the items we also find in joining different trade shows. We go to the different auto trend shows so that we keep our company updated.
Okay, now could you give us an example of a product that you weren't sure of but became a big hit or a home run?
Oh, we were one of the first to introduce dash cams in the Philippines. That time wala pa to eh. Nung time na yun wala pa, and we were worried kasi the price point is a bit high. That time the dash cams were close to 10,000 per unit eh. Lately it has dropped down so much already. But that time that we were introducing it, medyo mahal pa, mga 10,000-15,000 per unit. And it took off naman. And then we started to add different brands into the mix, and we were able to build that full category.
Okay, now what are the things that you can teach our viewers regarding product selection, display, and ultimately expansion? Kasi siyempre, ang Pilipino, alam mo, pag bumenta lang yung hopya or yung lumpia or whatever, uy, magtayo na tayo ng restaurant.
Well, one big factor that sets Blade apart from the others is that we are different. We try our very best to be different. We do different things. We do not follow kung anong uso. We do not follow kung ano yung norm. We do not follow kung anong mga traditions. We always break traditions. We always break the norm. We are not afraid to experiment. We are not afraid to fail, Kuya Cito. No? If we have projects that fail, so be it. Natuto lang kami, di ba? No?
Yeah.
But we are not afraid to stick out and do things that are out of the ordinary. Katulad
Such
nga
as?
katulad nga yung paggawa natin ng pelikula, di ba? Ang daming nagbabash, sabi, oh, hindi naman connected yan, ang baduy ninyo. No? But alam mo, Kuya Cito, our YouTube channel already gained over 25 million views. And we got a Silver Button Award. And to top it all, Kuya Cito, you know, yung movie natin na promotional video na 1.5 hours long, pinirata na at nasa Green Hills na. You can buy our DVD in Green Hills. I'm probably the only movie producer na sobrang proud na napirata yung aming pelikula.
Okay, I hope I'm embarrassed to ask, okay? Honestly. But was that Boots Anson Roa in that video?
Yes, si Tita Boots, si Kuya Freddy nandoon, Kuya Freddy Webb.
How did you manage to do that?
We got a production team to help us to organize. That's our very first pelikula eh. Nandun din si James Deakin, nandun si Senpai Kasu. We got an all-star cast in that project. It was very fun to execute that.
So talagang ginamit mo ng stage yung Blade, hindi lang siya background, hindi lang incidental, yung ba sabi, incidental focus or mention.
Wala, sila yung ang Blade ang naging main plot. At yun yung main motivation namin. I approached the different movie houses before we made our own production. I approached the different movie houses. I really wanted to put you know sa America, 'di ba? They do product placements, mga ganun, 'di ba? And the different production outlets were asking us for millions and millions of pesos to just to mention our brand or to mention the store. Kaya sabi ko, with that product placement budget, I will just try to make our own movie. And true enough, ginawa na natin at nag-work naman.
Okay, now I'd like to focus internally yung staff mo because you're one of the first car accessory places that had uniform staff, and then you also had very good looking staff, both men and women. But what is your investment for your staff? Because the thing that annoys many people is yung pupunta ka doon sa tindahan and the person doesn't know what they're talking about, or you're asking, gusto kong bumili ng HID, gusto kong bumili ng busina na ganito ganyan, and they try to push a particular brand to you when you're actually more interested in something. Kumbaga may parang hard sell or don't know what they're selling. How does Blade management deal with that?
You mentioned something about the uniform, Kuya Cito. That's very important, no? Kasi alam mo, yung customers will be leaving their car keys with you, which will open a 1 million, 2 million peso car. Kaya importante that people will trust you with the keys to their car. No? Kaya number one thing that we did was we hired well-groomed people and we put a proper uniform to say that whatever this person is, they are representing Blade. Ito yung name that you will be trusting, not just the person who is handling your keys. Number two, all the people are trained. No? We do monthly training to all the staff. We do product training and we do proper orientation. Walang kinikilingang brands ang ating mga tao. Lahat yan trained to handle the full service and full category. Tapos pag mga top performers natin, binibigyan din natin ng reward. Sinamahan na natin sila sa iba't ibang bansa. No? They've been to Hong Kong, Malaysia, Japan. Nakahawak na yan ng snow na tunay. No? And we're very happy. At least nabigyan namin sila ng ganyang pagkakataon kasi you know, Kuya Cito, everything hindi mo magagawa on your own. We only have two hands. We have limited time. So we depend on the team to do a good job. If they're happy, then the customers can feel the happiness. Kaya kailangan gawin to ng tama.
How did you manage the team because of COVID, and now there is this problem with resignations, mass resignations, parang na-shock maraming tao across all industries. A lot of people had to rethink they had to rethink their future, their choices. How has that affected Blade? Nagkaroon marami bang umalis, paalis? What is the turnover?
We're quite proud of what we did during the pandemic. Alam mo, sobrang hirap ng situation ng pandemic time. Pero we're very proud to say that we did not lay off anybody, not a single person. No? Totoo na naturally yung iba kasi hindi makapasok, yung iba naman ayaw papasukin ng parents. Pero everybody who can come in to work, pinapasok namin. Wala tayong sinew off na tao. No? Kaya I think because of what we did, people are siguro naramdaman din yung malasakit natin sa kapwa sa isa't isa, no? At sinusuklian din naman tayo nung kanilang mga commitment sa trabaho.
Yeah, but how do you sustain their interest? Because you've got a great business, you do a lot of goods, help and service to the public with your products and etc. Pero your staff are young people, and young people tend to start with the job and migrate to other jobs. Kasi parang baka, alam mo na, saturation and boredom. How do you manage that?
The first very important thing is that you have to pay your people correctly. No, kung ano yung dapat do sa tao, kailangan makarating sa kanya para the basic requirement is no longer an issue. The only issue that will be left is the work environment. And we try our very best to keep the work environment fun. Kung paano tayo dito, Kuya Cito, nagkakwentuhan, ganun din kami with all our team. We're very open. Hindi ito parang, boss ako, hindi kita kakausapin, hindi ito ganito. Now, we keep our work environment really fun so that people will not feel the pressure and people will not feel na nakakatakot sabihin yung totoo kung meron mang sunog na darating. No, we encourage a very open. When we receive the offer, it's either a yes or a no. No? So if they give us a good location, chances are we will just say yes.
Pwede ba kayo mag-say no doon sa mga malls?
Yes naman. Yes.
Someone
Very
told me, delikado daw mag-no kasi biglang sasabihin supla dito na itong Robert na to.
Marami kami naririnig na ganyang stories from other tenants, but somehow with us, with SM, Robinsons, and Ayala, they're all very supportive. Probably because, siguro Kuya Cito, we're the only one in our category na ganito yung mga produkto. We're not selling food, we're not selling clothes, there's a whole dozen of other tenants who's potentially going into the mall.
Okay. So, but outside of the mall, what's the incubation period?
Usually about 3 months to 6 months, we have to get it off the ground. Pero in deciding...
Kasama na yung construction?
No. The construction will take about 1.5 years for it to be done. Yun.
Okay, and your rule is always to lease and not to buy.
To buy and not to lease.
Okay.
Pinag-ipunan
Robert,
namin.
Kuya sa akin, di ba? Don't buy land, don't buy a house, rent.
Iba yung iba yung situation kasi nila sa Amerika. Tayo sa Philippines is a growing economy. Ang ating mga property ay mabilis umakyat yung mga presyo. When we bought our property in Timog Avenue, in 3 months time, nag-appreciate na siya kaagad ng 30% eh. And right now, it's already at a point na even ourselves, we cannot buy our own property. Sobrang mahal na ng property namin ngayon.
That is so true.
The Mindanao Avenue property, when we bought it, we were one of those na bumili at a very high price dahil nga ito ay parang end cap ng kalye. So, nag-overprice kami nung binili namin to. Right
so
now,
you said,
it's already ang presyo niya, tinaasan pa namin para makuha lang namin yung buong end cap.
Okay, so you said buy, don't lease, save or borrow?
We borrowed money. Yeah, we had to borrow money kasi it's a very capital-intensive direction. So we borrowed, but when you borrow lang, you have to make sure that you are borrowing for the right purpose. No? It has to be an income-generating borrow. So if you borrow at, let's say, 10% per annum, example, or 5% per annum, you have to make sure that you are earning more than the amount of interest that you are paying for. The propensity to earn should be higher than the amount that you are borrowing.
Okay, so for those of you who thought we are going to be talking only about car accessory, there you go. You got a mini MBA session with Robert. Okay. So thank you very much for your time today, and ano ba nangyayari dito? Okay. Thank you very much, Robert Tan, and
thank you, Kuya Cito.
God bless your business, the work of your hands, and I pray that you will continue to be a blessing not only to your staff but to others. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you po. Thank you, Kuya Cito.
Okay, let's now go to the blessing for the week. And it comes from it comes from the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 25. Therefore I tell you, Stop being worried or anxious, perpetually uneasy, distracted about your life as to what you will eat or what you will drink, nor about your body as to what you will wear. Is life not more than food and the body more than clothing? Okay, trust in the Lord and be blessed. Thank you for joining us this day. We hope you learned something. God bless all of you. Please keep it here on One News.